Dobar dan, uživo smo i gledate posebno izdanje Part+Casta, ovoga puta uživo, dakle, sa Carlikom Jonesom. Carlik, thank you for being here. We're live now.
Thanks for having me.
So, postavite pitanje, to je ono što je trenutno najvažnije. Možete, dakle, pitati Carlika. Carlik, we expect the questions from the fans, so you can also invite them to join us and ask some questions they are interested in. We have some already, but we have to start with this yesterday's game. How did you feel after 20 points up and then all of a sudden like this, it's all gone?
First I would like to say, a win is a win. So, of course we'll take it.
It's a confidence booster.
It's definitely a confidence booster. Any win is better than a loss, 100%. A lot of mixed feelings, a lot of ups and downs. I'm used to being in the games, so being on the side watching, I just try to stay like at a mutual feeling because, part of me is, I'm behind the bench trying to scream and let guys know, what I see from the sideline and to keep going or, keep defending and stuff like that. But the 20-point lead is, it's good, but to give it up in the matter of 7 minutes is extremely bad. But after the game, the guys talked about it, and we understand that this is just a learning lesson for us to where we have to to fix those problems at the end of games and learn where we went wrong and the mistakes we made and just try to be better the next time. Like I said before, it's unfortunate that it happened. It probably stressed all the fans out, but like I said, we're just happy we got away with the win.
When I talked with colleagues, with some of the players and stuff, I got this feeling a win is a win, and that's the most important stuff. Nobody wanted to talk about the reason why it happened or something like that, or maybe nobody knew the reason why it happened. But yeah, like you said, the win is a win, and it was stressful. Some Partizan fans really did used to this.
Yeah.
Did you get that feeling that sometimes it's very stressful to be a part of this?
I wouldn't necessarily say stressful, but for the fans, I understand, especially, with the atmosphere they provide every game. And then, to see your home team go up like that and be winning, you just kind of expect and, feel that they're going to, finish the job or complete the mission. And, I can see where the stress comes from to watch your team, let some things happen and kind of don't really do anything about it until it's, late. But I wouldn't call it stressful necessarily because, it's a part of the game. It happens. And kind of, what you said, in the moment, a lot of people don't like to talk about what happened during the game. Some people like to just enjoy the win
the victory.
And, just be, grateful that we got the win. And then, sometimes the next day or, the film sessions is when it's talked about.
I guess coach didn't enjoy the victory that much, no? He said he wouldn't sleep the last night.
I think, I know a coach he has a tough shell, I'll say that. I'm pretty sure he's happy we got the win. He's definitely not happy how we got the win. Like I said, especially being up 20 points. He's taught us, he tells us every day about smart decisions, the small details and stuff like that. And, he rightfully so has a reason to be, a little frustrated at, how we ended that game.
We will speak about those little things, details, stuff that he talks with you and the other guys. But let's speak about the injury. What's the timeline of your recovery? When we will see you back on the court? How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good. The best I could possibly feel. I think I get looked at again next week. I'm just really trying to stay positive. Thankful that I'm able, to be on crutches, to, to be able to still go to the games and still support my teammates, and very fortunate that it's not a season-ending injury. So I just really stay prayed up, and thankful for God that I'm not having something super serious. But I'm feeling the best that I possibly can. I'm still working out. I lift. I do conditioning the way that I can, unfortunately with like the foot. But I'm feeling pretty good. I can't say how long I'll be out. I just know that the process is going pretty well.
What are the exercises you can do? You cannot do anything with the ball, right? You cannot sit on the chair and shoot, no?
No, I sit in the chair and shoot.
You do?
I sit in the chair and shoot. I sit and do my lifts, mostly upper body, of course. And then, I try to use like the rope and stuff for my cardio, since I can't really use my foot to bike or treadmill and stuff like that. So, like I always say, it's better than nothing. So just being able to do those few things is, a blessing for me.
Is the diet any different now? Because, for example, you cannot move as you used to. So.
Yes, of course. Even in the season, the summer, I kind of tried to switch my diet. For those out there, the gummy bears, I still eat them, so don't worry about that. But yeah, of course, just changing the way I eat. Making sure the stuff is more so healthy than the fast food and stuff like that. So since the summer, I've been on that wave, and I'm just trying to continue it.
We know that Carlik Jones is the leader of the team. Last season we saw that, coach was telling about it, but some people really saw it now, unfortunately when you're out, that the team needs a rebuild, that needs more players in the team. So how does one become such an influential leader? How did you become such a big leader of this team?
I would say, of course, leading by example, leading with my play, my energy, my passion. And just be, the starting point guard. I feel like as a point guard, it's your job to lead everybody. Everyone looks at you for the plays. Everyone looks at you to know what to do next, or to how to handle the adversity. I've been doing it my whole life, playing point guard, being a leader,
Are you a leader in any team you?
Yes.
Yeah?
I feel like I might not necessarily be the captain, but
Okay.
I always find a way to lead some way, even if it's not as vocal. I try to lead by example always. You just never know who's watching. You never know who's, looking at you to count on. And, for my team, I think, all of last year, it was just, just kind of trusting me, and knowing that, I'm going to put that same trust into them. And, sometimes that's what you need out of your leader, to tell things and say the tough things. Like, some guys don't always want to hear that they're wrong.
So you're the one who comes and tells. Right?
Sometimes, but,
Okay.
I'm a guy who, as a leader, I understand that I'm also sometimes wrong as well. So being that guy that can accept being wrong and, being able to talk amongst each other and stuff like that is always huge.
Was did that leadership come from your young age, when you were a kid and playing in front of in the yard or in the street? Were you the leader also back then, or in some other games, not just?
Yeah,
basketball?
I would say yes. But the thing with me, I wasn't always vocal. I wasn't a guy that's always like hard on you. I wasn't the guy that was always checking you about the things you're doing wrong. I was more so just a quiet, lead by example guy. Like, this is how you do it. This is the way to do it. And that was that. Until I got to college. And, shout out to my college coaches, but they were just, more so hard on me every day just to speak. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be, every situation, but, to be more vocal, because, guys are counting on me to lead us. So, they were just always telling me, you got to use your voice. Your play alone allows people to look at you as the leader. So now you need to lead with your voice. And, a lot of coaches always say, like, to their point guards that you're the version of me on the floor. And, they always say you can't be that version if you're not talking. And then, especially in the atmosphere out here, just across Europe in general, especially at our home court, like, there's times where we're playing defense on the opposite end, or we're playing offense on the opposite end.
You can't hear the
You
coach.
can't hear coach.
Ah,
So, it's my job, it's Wash's job, it's Nick's job, really practically all of us, to communicate and talk amongst each other, because with the fans, the atmosphere we have, it's not always easy to do that.
So you have to be loud.
Yeah, of course.
I keep telling everybody that, considering the atmosphere, because I was almost everywhere in EuroLeague games, and nothing can be compared to what's happening in Belgrade.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they say that in Greece the atmosphere is fierce, that in Turkey the atmosphere is big and stuff like that. But I mean, especially in these last few games, I'm like, there is no place in the world that.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time. Like, bro, I'm not even playing, and I'm over there. I get the chills. Like, I'm over there when they're in their chants. I'm nodding my head. It's just unmatched. It's something I feel like I just haven't gotten used to yet, because, it's just amazing to see. I tell my friends back at home, like, you guys got to see this. Like, it's one thing to be on television and see. It's one thing to see videos.
That's why our friend Peyton Smith is. All the time.
Of course. Like, when you are in the arena, you feel like the energy versus just seeing it on a video.
So you said you're a version of the coach at the court. So are you the one then who cooperates with them the most?
I would think so, yeah. I'm nothing like him when it comes to. I'm not the guy that's gonna scream. Like, I'm not screaming and yelling at you. I'm not being as hard. It's for coach. Coach is the guy that, it's his job. It's his job to yell. It's his job to get on us when we're not doing right. But as a leader, as a point guard, I feel like it's my job to do the opposite. I'm the guy that's going to uplift you. Coach, don't get me wrong, he uplifts you. He has the utmost respect, the utmost trust in you.
But it's different when it comes from the teammate, right?
Yeah. So, in the heats of the moment, he mess up. I'm the guy that's going, yo, you're all right. Brush it off, next possession. Like, you're still in the game, you're going to have to move on. You can't hold on to it. Let it go, move on. Like, that's the guy that I am, I feel like, when it comes to being a leader. Now, I will get on you. I will tell you, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, and, that be that. It's not about me being a big dog or me trying to belittle you. It's just me letting you know, like, I'm your brother, I'm your teammate. This is what I see, this is what we need to fix, and this is going to help us win.
And are you the guy, I mean, not in this team, but are those guys like yourself, are they the ones that are most criticized? Because, for example, yesterday, I saw in first couple of plays of the match that coach was criticizing Nick for, I guess, organizing the play. I'm not so sure, but so is that the way for that guy to be the most criticized?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yep.
Just because, to start the game, I feel like that's when you need to be. You need to be locked in. First play, second play, those are like the first plays of the game. And, those are the plays that's drawn up before we step on the court. Like, we need to know them. We need to try our best to execute them, because, first plays are not normally plays you run, most of the time. Like, it's a play you just came up with and shoot around, or, it's a play you just, just draw during a timeout or something like that. So you have to be locked in sometimes to make that play work, especially if, the team hasn't seen it before. So if, you start the game and you run it wrong, it's valid to get yelled at a little bit.
What do you think about guards in Partizan now? Sheikh Milton is back from his injury. He's a new guy in the team. Dwayne we saw at the end of the last season and parts of the last season as well. And we have Nick now, who is a veteran, one of the oldest in the whole league, and one of the legends actually of the EuroLeague. There are some coaches that were telling. I know that Rick Pitino, for example, said that he's never seen such a how do you say it? Such a player who can assist so well.
Yeah, passer.
Like passer, yeah.
You know, I love all those guys. I
With
think,
you coming back, that's
I think, you know, even when we signed Shake over the summer, I thought Shake was a good pickup for us. I think I kind of did some interviews during media day and before the season where it was like, you know, I like Shake's game. I think Shake has the ability to do some of the same things that, you know, I do, but he's taller. You know, he's maybe 6'5", 6'6".
he's bigger, right?
Yeah, he's bigger, he's stronger. You know, he can see over the defense. I think he can handle the ball well, get people involved well, you know, outside of just, you know, scoring and stuff. So I thought it was a big piece for us, something we could, you know, use. You know, with Wash coming back, you know, I always been a fan of Wash's game. Me and Wash have known each other, you know, well before coming to Partizan. To see him, you know, really come out of the shell now is it's great to see. I've always knew he had it in him. It's just, I guess, the opportunity. He's getting, you know, more of an opportunity. He's getting more comfortable with the game. I think being, you know, coming from the NBA or the G League and coming to Europe, I do think it's a big change. It's a jump, and it's a jump that you have to learn. You have to get used to. You have to, you know, especially with coach, like you have to learn his system, and you know sometimes the EuroLeague system is definitely different from the NBA system. So just learning that, and then you know adding Nick. You know, I understand that we added Nick, you know, due to the injury of me, and you know, I was happy with the pickup. You know, like you said, Nick being a legend. Even with me being out, I figured that I can learn a lot from him. Just sometimes what he see on the court sometimes amazes me because, you know, I would not see a pass coming that he makes, and it's just like how did he do it? Like how did he see that and stuff like that? So I think it's always good to have a vet.
What's that? Is that just talent or experience?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a lot of talent.
It doesn't do anything with the hard work, right?
No. It's not. I don't feel like it's something you just go in the gym and.
No, you cannot learn that.
But, you know, just his experience, I think, will go a long way with us. His leadership, him already knowing coach and, you know, winning with coach.
Yep.
I think he can, you know, just kind of sprinkle his knowledge on the rest of us and you know, kind of be that experienced veteran, that experienced leader for us during the season.
Tell me, what was the first time that you've ever heard of Partizan? Was it the moment that they were asking about bringing you here?
When they were asking about bringing me here, you know, honestly, I never knew too much about, you know, overseas basketball. You know, growing up, that's just, you know, being in the States, it was just NBA. You know, but it's crazy because I would always get on Instagram sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was telling some of my friends, like, you know, I would send them the videos on Instagram, and it's like the fire and guys jumping around. And I always said, like, I'm like, bro, before I retire, like, you know, if it doesn't happen soon, like, before I retire, I'm going to go overseas and I want to experience that. And a year later, a couple months later, you know, I have the opportunity to come over here and play, and, you know, I started to look more and more into, you know, the EuroLeague as a whole, but especially Partizan as I was, you know, kind of getting down to my small selection of where I would go. And, you know, once I decided to come to Partizan, I started to do more and more homework and, looked up coach, see what he, you know, has accomplished and what he's done, and just, you know, learned about the atmosphere. And then eventually, once, you know, I decided to sign here, and I'll never forget, I'm just at, you know, my friend's league back at home, and I'm just at his game, just watching the game, just chilling. And I have on this white shirt It has red words on it and some red, shorts. And where I'm from, like Cincinnati, like our baseball team's red and white, stuff like that.
Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, Cincinnati Reds. And I'm not really paying any mind to it because I don't know anything just yet.
Okay.
And I post a picture, and there's like a whole list of DMs, and they're all like, Brate, you look good, but when you come here, no red and white. And I always laugh at it because now I'm here, and it's really serious. Like, and I've embraced that where it's like.
So now you didn't making that mistake again.
I would never make.
Nice T-shirt now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what kind of baseball equipment can you wear? Yankees or something like that?
Man, I don't
But
wear,
you're not a fan of Yankees.
Yeah. I would never switch on, my home team,
Okay.
but yeah, as long as I'm here, you won't be seeing me wear them colors.
Okay, we will understand that. Yeah, but during the Olympics, there were rumors. We all knew that you were coming, but there was nothing official.
Yeah.
How did you handle that moment you played against Vanya as well in game between South Sudan and Serbia?
Yeah, I mean, in the back of my head, I knew it just wasn't, public. We all just kind of, held on to the secret, I guess. But
journalists there, I think
they knew.
They knew.
And then Vanya knew, of course. But it was just great to like I've played against him the past 2 years with just the FIBA. It's always just a good experience to play in FIBA. But I think I got a glimpse of the Serbian atmosphere. When we played there, like there was a lot of cheering, a lot of chants. So, I'm I don't know if anybody could find the video, but I'm kind of like, to start the fourth, I'm kind of like nodding my head because it's an incredible experience and atmosphere. And I'm like, if this is what I'm looking forward to, then this is the dope experience.
Yeah. What would you say now about not just atmosphere about basketball, but actually the way Serbians look at basketball? Because we like to think it's something different from the other European nations.
Yeah, I mean, here I think it's not just about the atmosphere, like you said. I mean, the passion, the love, and how you guys really understand the game. It's one thing to be a fan and you grew up a Partizan fan and you just like Partizan because you grew into it. But here is more so like you guys love your club because you really love the game. Like you really understand the game. Of course you love them because that's like what you be brought into, but you understand the game. You understand when things are going wrong, why they're going wrong, and when things go right and why things are going right. And to me, that's always been huge to me. Like, and what I love about it is just you guys understand it. You understand the game, and a lot of the times I feel like I can feel the energy with you guys. Like, and with the atmosphere and the fans, it's like when we lose, like I feel that. Like I feel how upset or how bad we really wanted that win, and that always sit with me. I know even last year when we were having that tough stretch, like I felt
At the beginning.
Yeah, it was tough, but I felt but the energy never went away. It wasn't like the passion was lost, the love was lost, or anything like that. The support never dropped, and to me that's huge because not everywhere you can do that. Not everywhere you can lose a couple games in a row, and people are still selling out the arena and still being behind you. So.
Considering that us understanding the game, for example, I hate when a guy shoots a three and the shot it's not open.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Sterling Brown can hit it, and he did it yesterday, I think. But I prefer if the ball is moving and then we find it open.
Just stuff like that, like just understanding more than it went in or it didn't go in.
Yeah.
Like people understanding like, well, why didn't he he drive and create for someone else, or why does he just do this or that? And I'm a guy. I read the comments. Like,
You do?
yeah, I read the comments.
Why? Because
Why?
there are
It's
lots of bad comments there.
Man, the bad comments don't faze me though.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the last
Do
comment.
they amuse you?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the comments are funny because it's for. I mean, I think that's what social media is for.
Yeah.
It's for you to express yourself. It doesn't mean you expressing yourself is always right, but that's what it's for. It allows you to express yourself and say what you want to get off your chest. And for me, I read them sometimes. I don't read them all the time, but I read them, and sometimes it's funny, but sometimes I also respect them because they're saying stuff that I might think sometimes, like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Why did we decide to, like last night, let these guys come back into the game? So, I mean, it's always good to see, like, when you can look on social media and see some people really know the game. So, I always take respect to the people who know the game.
And you don't post that much, right?
No.
No?
Most of the time I post I try to keep it strictly about basketball for my social media. I'm really a closed off person as far as like family or things that I do on my out of basketball life. But anything basketball related to me or my team or my teammates, I'm more than open to posting.
Because what do you think about Mike James? He's posting all the time, and he's usually have comments on a whole lot of different kind of stuff about EuroLeague basketball. You don't think you should? I mean, you don't feel like doing it, but
me personally,
what do you think about it?
Yeah, me personally, I don't do it. Like I said, it's just not me. But I feel like everybody has their right to do what they want with their social media. I don't think he's wrong for doing it. I mean, he just expresses himself just like everyone else does. And I think maybe he might get a lot of criticism from it because he's actually a player. And he's not a fan. He's not, someone just supporting the club. So some people might look at it a little different because he's doing it. But, he's human just like everyone else. I think sometimes people forget that we're human just like everyone else. Yeah, we're professionals, we're athletes, but we still wake up, do the same things you guys do, and still sometimes have the same thoughts and feelings. So I don't think it's necessarily something wrong with it, but everybody's open to their own opinion and what they choose to do and not do.
You said that you understand that you feel how people feel when the losing stretch is on or something like that. And when it's hard, when it's difficult. We have this feeling here that sometimes when it comes to basketball and when it comes to Partizan and Red Star, it's a matter of life and death.
Yeah.
Did you feel?
Yeah.
Does it bother you?
Does it bother me?
Or does it maybe makes you a better player who can work under a bigger amount of pressure?
I don't say it bothers me. I think it makes you, I would say it makes you want to be a better player. It makes you want to not only accomplish, a win is a win for us, but it makes you want to win, for your fans, especially in the derby. Like, especially that's a life or death situation. Like, the history about, both clubs. The history of the rivalries and how much it means to not only just you, your teammates, your coaches, but how much it means to the fans. And, I think even last year, I remember when we played them the first time in EuroLeague at their place. We took a bunch of losses before that game. And Coach came in and was like, I understand that, we've taken a few losses, and you guys are playing hard, but it's just not going right for us. But whatever you have inside of you, I need you guys to double it. Because it's the Derby week. We know how, passionate the fans are. We know how much this means to the club. And, of course we went out there and we did that, but you want to go that extra level in those rivalries because that's what you want to do. You want to win those. You want to have the bragging rights. You want to, You want your organization, your fan base to be happy about that rivalry.
Did you remember the celebration with the fans afterwards? I
Yes.
think they stopped the bus, right?
Yes,
They stopped
that's
the
an
bus.
unforgettable experience.
Yeah.
To stop the bus, we all got off the bus. We cheered, jumped around for 10, 15
cold,
minutes.
right?
It was cold, but
Yeah.
you probably would have forgot it was cold. How hyped, how excited we were, and just for that, like, that right there is big. Like, to experience that, for the fans to get the chance to experience that and be a part of that happiness. You know, they can carry that happiness and that bragging rights up until the next game again.